everyone, welcome to the class. My name is Lena, and today I'll be guiding you through a slow yin practice. It's all about letting go, letting your body to soften. We won't be using any muscular effort, so it's all about keeping the poses for a little bit longer than your usual regular vinyasa flow, just to simply allow the connective tissues to soften and to release. So for this practice, make sure you have a couple of blocks and we should be ready to start. So we'll start in our child's pose. So make your way there. Bring your knees as wide as your mat. Allow the big toes to touch and begin to sink your heart, the belly down, perhaps resting the forehead onto the floor, or if you prefer, onto the block. And just a few moments for us here to ground, to come into stillness, and really connect with the breath. So we're not looking to go anywhere really deep. Here, allow the gravity to help you come closer towards the mat, gently pulling you down. And today is all about letting go and just giving yourself this gift of time. A gift of doing less, a gift of slowing down. Pay attention here to any sensations around your body, the inner thighs, the groin. Notice your spine, the shoulders, the chest, and soften further through the face. And just a few more breaths here. Feel free to let it go through the mouth. And when you're ready, we'll slowly begin to rise, finding our tabletop position. Just a little rebound pose. Make sure your hips are stacked on top of your knees, and as you inhale, begin to drop the belly, look up and open the chest, and exhale gently round, tucking the tail under. And just intuitively begin moving through your cats and cows, releasing any of the compression around the groin. Great. And the last round. And we'll find our neutral tabletop position. From here, keeping those knees underneath the hips, we'll go a bit deeper into the upper body and the shoulders. So begin to walk your arms forward, melt your heart down, and here again, choose to either bring the forehead onto the floor or on a block. And here it doesn't have to be your deepest puppy pose you've ever done. See what happens if you allow yourself to do less today. Less effort, less force. Simply listening to your body and the breath. And if a stronger sensation arrives, try to simply breathe through it, riding those waves, even when the strong one comes in. The breath here is your guide. And a lot of the times, resistance starts to come in. So try to also breathe through that resistance, finding comfort in the uncomfortable. And I know it is getting now pretty intense, so we'll take those last few breaths, really mindful deep breaths, and breathe into the space where you feel tight. Very good. And slowly we'll begin to walk ourselves back up. And just to counterpose, allow yourself to sit onto your heels, open your palms to face the ceiling. Keep your back in neutral, close the eyes, and just allow the previous pose to integrate into your body. Taking another deep inhalation. And let go. Moving slowly now as we find our way onto our bellies. So you can extend your legs, slowly lower down. Make sure nothing is in your way on the right or the left sides. We'll find this scorpion stretch, as I like to call it. So go ahead and extend the right arm over to the side. With the left hand, we'll push gently our body onto the right shoulder, allowing the left foot to also travel towards the back. So here, the intention is to open up through the right side, through the right shoulder. And here, allow the left arm to rest in front of you, or if it feels better, maybe on the side of your body, even placing gently your left hand on your left thigh. And just keeping those eyes closed, staying with the feeling, staying with the sensation, without any desire to do more or to push more. Enjoy the stretch, even if it gets a bit challenging. Here we're allowing the tissues around the right shoulder to lengthen. Essentially letting go of stiffness, of any tightness, and creating space for the new things. And here we'll take another few breaths, nice and slow. And when you're ready, in your own time, slowly return your left forearm down and come onto your belly. From here, basically coming from our Sphinx pose, left forearm is on the floor. We'll thread the right arm just underneath it. Again, still focusing on that right shoulder. And here your left arm might crawl a bit more in front. And in this position, you might also find a block quite helpful to once more place the forehead on top of the block. So it takes a moment or two until you find a position that works for you. And once you're there, if it feels good, of course you can stay there. If you would like to introduce a gentle opening across the right hip, go ahead and send the right knee out to the side towards the right shoulder. And then try and settle here. Deep breaths. Reminding yourself that we're really in no rush. It is all about nourishment. It is all about slowing down. If you feel the urge to breathe out through the mouth, you can of course do that. Listen to your body. Notice what your body needs here and now. And we'll take the last couple of breaths. And hopefully the right shoulder feels a bit better, less tight. So slowly go ahead and return the right leg back into a straight position. We'll bring the left forearm closer in so we can slowly thread the right arm out. Put the block to the side and just rest for a moment here. Awareness on the right side. Taking a deep breath in, allowing the back side of the body to expand. Very well. Slowly lifting the head. We'll set up for that scorpion stretch one more time. So extend your left arm out to the side. You can rest the head down, and the right foot will travel all the way behind you. Right forearm is just resting in front of your face. And here the beauty is that you can navigate how far you want to go, finding your edge, but not overdoing it. And then again, just a little check-in, noticing the legs, the hips, the belly, the shoulders, the arms. Soften the jaw. A lot of the times we store so much tension around our face. So try to let go. And don't hold back. Take the last couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, very slowly in your own time, begin to bring your leg back down, coming back onto your forearms. And continuing with the left shoulder, we'll thread the left arm underneath. Again, a block can be quite useful here, so you choose how you want to set up. And try and relax into the body, and then if you want, you can also introduce that hip opening, so drawing the left knee out to the side and staying here. And the left and the right sides, they always feel different, so try not to compare the two and rather accept everything that comes. Accept the tightness, accept the discomfort, and just cultivate patience with your body. Very good. Checking in with our breath. Notice the rhythm, the pace. The last few breaths here. And we'll slowly begin to make our way back down. First, allowing your left leg to go back. Then bringing the right forearm back in. Taking the left arm out, removing the props to the sides. And go ahead and just lie on your belly for a few breaths. Relax your arms by your sides, relax through the feet. How nice it is just to give yourself time to slow down and to listen in. Last breath. And we're slowly going to make our way onto our backs. So you can just roll yourself around. Do it slowly. And from this position here, now guide the right ankle on top of your left knee for this figure 4 position. Now there's a few options that you can take. You can also place a block and guide your foot on top of the block. Just readjust the distance. Maybe this is enough for you. This is totally fine to be here. Maybe you want to guide your legs closer, maybe wrapping your hands just around your thigh or around your shin. And we'll stay here for a couple of moments. So really just choose the option that suits your body today. You're now feeling this firm ground from beneath your back. Try and soften through the shoulders. If you feel like you're making a lot of effort to keep hold onto the shin or the thigh, you can always release it. Just give yourself the permission to do less today. And with that inner awareness, travel towards the right hip, noticing all of the sensations there. From the outside, it looks like this practice is quite uneventful, but deep inside, all the tissues are being stretched. It's a type of good stress that we are applying for the tissues. So just slowly breathing out through that discomfort. The last couple of breaths. Great, and then slowly release the shin. You can rest the left foot onto the block or the mat, and we're just going to draw the right leg literally on top of the left. So crossing over, and then again drawing the knees closer in. You can hold on to your knees. We'll stay here for a few breaths, or if it feels comfortable, you can grab hold of your feet as though you're finding your cow face position here, Gomukhasana. So try here to find stillness. Slow, deep, nourishing breaths. Very good. And taking the last few breaths as deep as you like them to be. And we'll let go of the feet, of the knees, wherever your hands were, nudging the hips a bit more to the right. And we'll come in for a supine twist. So the block that is at the back, you can reposition it to the side. And as you drop the knees over to the left, the block can act as a support there for you. So really accepting the help here if your body is asking for the help. And here just resting in this beautiful, gentle twist. What a lovely way to restore our energy, to restore the life force. And as you hold the pose, the body naturally softens. So if you ever feel like perhaps dropping deeper or taking the block out, you can always do that. As long as this comes from your heart rather than from your mind, from the thinking mind. In Yin Yoga, it should always be about the heart, about that inner voice, inner guide. So we'll take here the last couple of breaths. And when you're ready, slowly, then we'll bring the legs back in. And to reset, just a little counter pose. You can bring the feet nice and wide and allow your knees to come in. Close your eyes and just notice what comes up. Take that deep breath in. Slowly guiding your feet closer in, bringing your left ankle just on top of the right knee, either staying here or using block for a support, or guiding your legs closer in, either holding your thigh or the shin as you interlock the fingers there. And then again, just closing the eyes and dropping into this space of stillness. Welcoming those sensations that arise around your left outer hip. And if you feel any resistance, as though you're not really letting the stretch happen, try to take a deep breath in through the nose and a big release out through the mouth. Giving your body a permission to release and let go. And just the last few breaths. And when you're ready, you can gently release the shin. Place the foot onto the floor, wrap the left leg on top of the right, and feel free to stay here, or again, draw your legs closer in. Hold on to your knees or the shins or the feet. Allow your arms here to be heavy, shoulders to be heavy. Soften the jaw, your lips. Allow your tongue to rest inside of your mouth. And if you find your mind drifting away, just simply take another inhale and let that out breath to bring you back into the present moment. This is really how we train the brain to be present, to be here and now. So last few breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly let go of the feet or the knees, nudging the hips slightly more over to the left. You can then reposition the block to the right side and allow your knees to go over to the right. And breathe into those tight places. Never stop breathing, never hold your breath. Allow this to be a beautiful, continuous cycle. Smooth, slow. Try to let go around your toes, around your ankles, feeling heavy on this mat. And just your last few breaths. And in your own time, when you're ready, guide your legs back in. And just to reset, to integrate, you can either stretch your legs or bring your knees in, feet nice and wide. Deep inhale. Well done. Slowly then guide your knees towards the chest. Roll onto one side. And we'll come into seated just to prepare for one more pose. So guiding your blocks onto the mat. So one is going to support your shoulder blades. So perhaps level 2 or level 1, your choice. And then one to support the head. So coming into our Supta Baddha Konasana. Make sure your shoulder blades land directly on top of the block. The head is also supported. And it's your choice whether you bring the soles of your feet in, allowing your knees to open, or you keep your legs straight. And if you want to, your arms can also rest gently on the floor, on the right and the left sides. So this one in particular is a beautiful pose to open up through the upper body, through the whole front part of the body, creating space around our hearts, sending our way a bit more love, compassion, and kindness. Most of our day, we carry ourselves in a pretty closed off position, arms forward, shoulders forward, typing on our laptops, sitting on the desks. And this one is just the opposite of that. As though a flower begins to open its petals towards the sun. Let go even more. It is all effortless here. And we'll take our last 3 breaths, inhaling through the nose and letting it go. Deep breath in. And last one here. And out. Beautiful. Then just be very slow as we begin to come out of the pose, guiding your knees in, rolling onto one side. To remove the props away. And we'll settle now for our last and final resting pose, Shavasana. Extend your legs, release your arms, take a deep breath in. And very gently begin to wiggle the toes, the fingers. Move your head from one side and the other side. Any kind of stretch that feels good. And then drawing your knees in. Give yourself a big hug. And when you're ready, roll onto one side, and from there, we slowly come up into a seated position. And just another moment for you to notice how you're feeling, how your body is feeling. And guiding the hands into Anjali Mudra next to our hearts. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. Thank you for creating space and really slowing down for yourselves. Hope you're feeling much better. Namaste.